belly button to me. There you go. You got it. Good job. Good job. So if you are going to use these, you need to make them like 2 inches tighter.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of them to begin with. Is there a reason? Is he overstepping? Is he injuring himself?
I just don't want to protect his feet.
Well, having them on the way you have them on is making him do this. Because, yeah, because he's got these things that are doing this on his feet. So they should be snug and against his foot. The other side is to protect. I do things because a horse needs it. I never do things if he were interfering, if he were stepping from the back foot into the front foot, pulling a shoe, tripping, if you could hear, they call it forging, if you hear click, click as he's stepping, first thing I do is talk to my farrier and have him snub off toes in the back, because the farrier fixes that. So that would be the reason that I would put them on. If he pulls shoes, on my mare, she chased coyotes one night across the field and she came in without shoes on.
Wow.
She was booking it after the coyotes. And her previous owner said, oh, I always put bell boots on her. Well, in 5 years, that was the only time she had pulled a shoe. But if he started showing signs of doing that,
But since he doesn't have shoes, how would I know
if he had an injury, if he were stepping, if he were hurting himself on the bulb of his foot, the heel back there. And then if you're going to do it, then we need to get your equipment that fits. Okay, so by the time I tighten these up to what they would be, what they should be, this back part, everything is very high up on his foot, so even then it would be questionable whether it's going to
interfere with his
right,
feet?
right. But I did get it tight enough now so that they're not flopping on his feet. Let me just check these two out. Okay, those are okay. I won't complain about those.
Let's just warm up here. Come on.
I do things because a horse showed me they need it. I don't do things because somebody said, oh my God, you have got to
I
put bell
think
boots on.
maybe just as a preventative. No, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
he moves the best he's going to move without anything on his feet.
Is that why we have them on? It's just kind of
I
prevention?
think maybe he did overstep and pull shoes. Not only were his toes blunted rounded, he had clips, and everything was pointing to that, and he
Yeah.
did track up very, very nicely, so,
Yeah.
which we liked.
Yeah.
So I suspect that perhaps it was muddy there or something that
Yeah.
would have, lent itself to him pulling the shoes.
And he did pull
basically.
one shoe when we first got him.
Yeah, when he got him. So he may have fallen into that category, but now we're without shoes, so
Yeah.
maybe it's not as important.
Yep. And also with your shin boots, splint boots there, if he were riding them and you noticed that that there were injuries on each side, then I do it. If he interfered, if anything, he does this, he paddles. He's not going this way into each other.
Oh.
I use those for jumping. We put them on for jumping.
For
different
support?
things. No, there's no support in those. You've got 1,000
Just
pounds of
protection.
animal. Right. If they hit a rail, if they're whatever, then they're not going to cut their leg. Or, when they jump, they're coming up this way and that foot could catch on another one. But that's my soapbox on here.
Come on, let's put your head down here. Come on.
Okay, don't worry about head. Walk on. Head comes later. First we warm up. I'd prefer long and low to ask him to be collected at this point. He needs to move forward and relax, not tuck his head and use muscles that aren't warmed up yet. So the first thing is going to be forward walk. Don't bug him every step. Ask him with your calf. Then give him a little whack with the prop. They know we're good. Here, Hobby. We're not afraid of that stuff. Good. A little bit squeeze. There we go. Good work.
Keep it up.
Did you have to take much time off because of your eye?
Yeah, I lost a whole week, so
Wow.
this is really my first week back riding.
Well, stop doing those kind of injuries.
Yeah, believe me, I would love to go back and not have done that. Plus, I can't wear my contacts. It really stinks. Come on.
So when you're riding by yourself and there's nobody in here to say watch your rhythm, count to yourself. Feel his steps. So you're feeling and not thinking. 1, 2, 1, 2. Try to keep that all the way around the ring. He changes quite a bit. He fluctuates in how he wants to move. So your job is to say, keep going. And that's going to be just your calf. Squeeze down with your butt cheeks, but don't pump the saddle. It's your lower leg and your cheekbones that are going to make that happen. That's good. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the next thing, you're working on rhythm in between. The next thing is going to be, he's counter-bent most of the time. He's looking to the outside. How do you make him bend to the inside?
Little left hold, right, left hand. Triple squeeze, rein with my left hand.
The trainer instructor's favorite word, your answer is always going to start with inside leg to outside rein. That is the cure-all. That's one of my favorites, and the other is go forward. But he's doing blah, 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 go forward. If you squeeze that inside leg into your outside fingers, now he's close to the fence, squeeze your outside leg against him. Move him off the fence, just your leg, right leg, right leg. There you go, good job. And then down here, he wants to look to the outside. So inside leg, push him to the rail. Good work. And find his rhythm. It'd be squeeze, squeeze. There you go. Good, good, good. Now he's straight. And then relax your hands, relax your elbows. Have heavy hands. Not that you're going to be pulling on him, but don't lift your hands up over his neck. Relax your hands and let the weight of your arms be attached to his bridle. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. And now he's slowed down, but you've got a nice bend, so that's good. Why don't you go across the middle, change direction, across the diagonal. Good turn, nice turn. Good. And you're going to come back on the rail at H. His left shoulder is going to touch the rail at H. Sit deep in the saddle, don't push, that's it. Now I would start with your right leg on him so he starts bending to the right. Yes, good work. Excellent. Now think about his rhythm again. He likes this direction better, right?
No, I actually like
The other one, I was thinking that was the hard canter side.
Now going to the right.
Yeah. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, think about when we rode a square. Remember the riding a square, bringing his shoulders around a corner?
Yes.
So you'll squeeze your thighs on the saddle, twist your belly button, take the saddle to the right, squeeze your outside finger. This one do in off the rail, so he's not leaning on the rail. Do it like walk 10 feet, 10 steps, and turn.
Turn now?
Yeah. I don't want you on the rail now. I want you off the rail. So with that turn, very little inside rein. The only thing I want the inside rein to do is to tip his nose. Now come off the rail. Do this all in the center of the ring. So you walk 5 steps and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn right. Left hand, left fingers. So look at me, Carla. You're doing this. You're pulling him around the corner. I want this. Remember when we were standing still here a minute ago and you moved his shoulder, you turned his shoulder this way. So look towards me, take his saddle and turn that. Good. Walk 5 steps, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn right. Left finger, right belly button. Good. Now forward again. He said, you need talking too. I'm going to stop in the middle of the ring. Now turn. Make him go where you wanted him to go. Left fingers. Push his shoulder. Don't pull his face. Okay, you're going to turn again. Look towards me. Belly button. Bring your saddle to me. There you go. Good work. Walk past me, and you're going to turn again. Take your saddle, turn your belly button, squeeze your outside fingers. Beautiful. Now the only other thing I want you to do is try and keep his head straight. Don't let him bend so much that his neck is like on a 90-degree angle. I want him to be straight. Yeah, oh, beautiful. Good work. Feel that one?
Yep, I
take a big deep breath and relax. Relax and feel him turning. Don't think, got to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Just think, I'm going to turn and turn with him. Good, again. And he doesn't quite turn, use more of the outside hand. The outside hand is sore like this. You're very soft on it. Close your fingers on the reins. Look at me. Go, turn, turn. Tell him, don't ask him. Right, wake him up. More forward. My other favorite thing, forward. Now turn. Don't let him go to the rail. There you go. There you go. Forward. And don't beg. That's it. I said don't beg him. Use your whip. Turn. I don't care if he's trotting. Turn. Yeah. Good work. And turn. Not so much inside. Outside. 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 And turn. Good. Take the saddle. Use your seat and take the saddle with you. Good work. Good. Now somewhere you have to figure out a change of direction. Look where you want him to go. Down on your heels.
Direction.
Yep. Now, did you choose to walk or did he walk?
He walked.
Well, then he's got to trot. He started trotting before and we went with it. He can't call the shots all the time. Okay. Right? Now, good. Now you're going to turn to the left. Squeeze the saddle to the left. But yes, good work. Nice. And turn. Got it. When you're watching the video, watch his front legs cross over. He's not turning his nose and sort of dragging around the corner. He's actually crossing over. Good work. All right, walk again. Squeeze your butt cheeks, step in your feet. Good. Bring your whole leg. I'm going to redo you a little bit. I hadn't seen this. I'm thinking the way you guys changed the saddle again has changed. You're riding in an easy chair. You're riding here, which means that the saddle has turned you backwards here. So you've got to relax the leg. Your leg needs to stay shoulder, hips, heel. So this should be a straight line right here. You're riding with your leg up here. Which I'm thinking I want this up even higher because it's tipping you this way. So you have to counteract that. From this muscle, you have to bring that leg back.
That's what we worked on Tuesday, and I really think too, staying out of the saddle is the worst thing.
Oh, it
for
always
me.
is. Yeah,
So,
it's hard. But that's good now. Now, you've been bringing his shoulder around the corner in a walk and a trot. Now I want you to turn his butt. Now you have to stabilize his shoulders. What part of his body do your hands control?
the shoulders.
Excellent. What part of your body controls his hops?
My heels.
Good. So we want him to stand fairly still in the front. This being his front legs, I want him to pivot. This one stays still. His back legs, he's moving around and around and around. Okay? So right hand says whoa. Left hand, left leg is going to squeeze, release. In a perfect world, he's going to turn his butt. He is going to try to walk out of it.
Okay, so is this turning on the haunches or is this turning on the shoulders?
Turning on the forehand.
The forehand.
And how I remember it is whatever part of his body is stationary is what I'm turning on. So turn on the forehand means that he's moving his butt. A turn on the haunches means he's moving his shoulders.
Okay,
That's
so,
a hard one for a lot of people.
yeah, it's
Takes
just
a while.
kind of the opposite.
It
for
is,
me.
it is.
So we're going to be doing that moving in a square though?
No,
walking?
well, we will get to that, but I want you to do it first standing still so
Oh.
you get the cue, because it's a lot harder at the walk. So say left fingers, left leg are going to do squeeze, release. Right fingers are going to say whoa as necessary. If you do too much on the whoa, he's going to back up.
Okay,
All right?
so you want me to move his haunches towards you? No,
Away from me.
away from
Remember
me.
rule
Okay.
number 1, don't run me over.
All right, so
Squeeze, release, left finger, left leg, push his butt away
left
from me.
finger, left leg.
Yep, you got it. And there he wants to move forward. There, good. Make him stand. Yeah, don't pet him for that yet. That was not that exemplary. He needs to stand still. So that other hand, now we got to do is, what did he just do? He went sideways and forward. So this hand controls this shoulder. It's going to say, whoa, and I would put it against his neck just a little bit to keep his shoulder towards me and push his butt away from me. A lot of things. Your ears are smoking.
Yeah, it's
So left finger, left leg, right, that's it. Good. He wants to, there you go. Keep
Good.
going, keep going. Don't stop and pet him because he sort of did it, but not enough. Just give him a pet. Let's come away from the fence.
Forward?
Yeah, come away from the fence. Don't be so quick to pet him because he's giving you half effort and quite happy to say like, yeah, whatever. Okay, now, left finger, I was going to help you with this one. I'm going to keep him thinking. Okay, I'm going to be your left finger. Now you do left leg. There's a good step. You feel everything stayed steady. After another. Good. Now he wants to go over and step. He wants to go onto that shoulder, that way and step.
so that's when I hold it with the right hand.
Right hand against his neck just a little. So if I say put his shoulder to me and move his butt away. So my hands are going to do this way a little bit. Move his shoulder to me and move his butt away from me. Yep. You got it. You got it. More, more. Good work. Shoulder to that side. So you just lost his shoulder there. Don't pull so hard on this rein. It's a squeeze release. Yes, yes. Fix the shoulder, put his shoulder over here. And hold. Good. So this hand is going to say, go ahead and tell him with your leg. I'll move out of the way. You're going to feel. He doesn't want to step on me. Go ahead, use a lot of that leg. There you go. Keep going. Feel my hand on the reins?
Yeah, oh, squeeze.
Yeah, there.